everybody. Hey, welcome to our fall Yarny YouTube Hop video. I'm Lisa, and I am joined by Chris and our special celebrity guest, AKS Mom. How's everybody doing today?
How are you doing today, Lisa?
A little loopy, but we'll talk about that later.
I'm good.
All right. Who would like to go first?
Mommy.
No, she pointed to you, so
Oh.
I think she beat you on the draw. Oh.
You know you have to talk, right? Well, I finished my fall shawl, y'all. This is the first shawl that I've ever designed myself. I had an inspiration for it, and I forgot to send Lisa the inspiration picture, but it's in the previous video.
Okay,
just take a look. But here she is. Ooh.
Move her over a little bit.
Way.
Yeah, there we go.
And then look, she's got a long. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, what? She's delightful, and I love her. And so this side is split, so my arm goes through there when I'm wearing it, and she's perfect. She's the standard by which I will judge all of those
shawls. Okay. One shawl to rule them all.
But no, it was super easy. It's a rectangle, and I made the center. So all of this is one piece that's folded in half. So I made this center piece out of Lanagato Eden, which is a half wool, half acrylic. And I loved the colors in this yarn. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's really just, look at all of that. I had to use it even though it had this acrylic in it. So I was like, okay, I'll make a shawl, I'll make something that, I can take off as needed if it gets hot. But I certainly didn't have enough. If I had 2 skeins, I did not have enough to do all of this here because this pretty much comes down to my ankles. Yeah. So
did you measure it? How long is it actually? It's a couple of feet.
Yes, it is quite lengthy. So I used this mohair, and what I did when I wanted to transition to the mohair on either end, I just did these stripes so that the mohair would make a bit more sense. It wouldn't just be like 3 giant blocks like mohair, wool, mohair. Mm-hmm. And then when I finished the main body and I tried it on, and there's a picture. Well, yeah, do that one first.
Okay.
So that's the shawl. And I added this neckline because it was just like this raw edge. And I didn't like how it looked. And I was like, well, it is kind of like a neckline. So I did a neckline treatment, kind of a cowl neck. But then I cinched one side of it so that I get like that banner kind of shape.
I love that.
And then I showed the picture of it on.
I don't have that picture.
I sent you both.
Hang on a second. Let me make sure. We're having a little technical difficulty at the moment, but let me see if I have it here. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry, I just didn't see it. Okay, I will add it to the stream. Keep talking.
Okay. We're getting it.
Say more.
This was a yarn eater. It was lots and lots and lots of yarn because I used 2 skeins of 100-gram wool. And when I was done, when all was said and done, I had 18 grams left of that. Whew. But I used 6 25-gram skeins of mohair. That was 150 grams total. When I was done, my last skein had 4 grams left. So it's almost the whole 150 grams.
Yeah.
So it's a ton of yarn. But again, that's one of the reasons I switched to the mohair. Because this was going to be like hanging off my shoulder, I did want something that was very light and very comfortable. And it is just completely diaphanous. And it is hard I think it's hard to find stitches, crochet stitches that look good in mohair. So this is V-stitch, and I think she's stunning.
Absolutely.
So I worked it actually this way.
Look at that fabric. I love that.
And I couldn't be happier with how it came out. You have the full picture now?
I do.
Yeah, because I just wanted you all to see how long it comes down. It comes down almost to my ankle.
Wow. And you know what? I like that you have that heavier yarn that's sitting on your body. It kind of grounds the piece on you, and that leaves the ends just free to float.
And it doesn't slip at all. It's very comfortable to wear. Yeah.
Now, you are debating one detail.
Yeah. So right there at where the top of the split is, I'm thinking about putting a little bow made out of the mohair. So I made a little strip out of the mohair, and I need to block it because right now it's curling, and I really want it to be like a flat ribbon. And I might put it there, or I might actually just make it detachable.
Yeah, that's a good
and
idea.
then add it when I want to and take it off when I want to. But I kept like, when I finished it, I kind of didn't want to finish it almost. It was weird. So I was just like, maybe it needs a little something else. And I came up with the bow. I don't know if I'm actually going to use the bow, but I do like it. I feel like it's just, I don't know, fun. But yeah, this is my shawl. I think her name is Primera because she's my first shawl that I designed. So I think that's what I'm going to call her. But yeah, that's it. And I absolutely, I feel like this neckline was a stroke of genius.
It was. It was. It just took it.
But I love how this color of the mohair works with the colors in the wool.
It works very well.
And yeah, it was very simple. Definitely TV stitching, and I love it. I can't wait till it's actually cool enough to wear it. But yeah, that's my shawl. That's my fall shawl, y'all.
Oh, I like it. So,
yeah,
Mom,
you have to talk now.
It's your turn.
Mommy made a thing.
I sure did.
Well, you know what? Do you want me to show them the inspiration piece first?
Yeah.
So, Mom saw this sweater on Pinterest and could not get it out of her mind.
I thought it was really beautiful. I loved the facing in the front that was corded, and I was like, oh. And it said in the description that it was a crochet sweater. But when I really looked at it, it's not crochet. It's that, I guess it's
that
something
machine knitting
that
looks like crochet.
Yeah, it looks like crochet. I was like, oh, I can make that. Or at least a version of that. So that's what I set out to do.
Okay, show them your swatches. So show them the thought process.
So I started out with just, some yarn that I had, little pieces of, and I tried to make the stitches that I thought I would put in there.
There we go.
And then I was like, okay. I kind of refined it down to these stitches because I had to be very conscious of how much yarn I had, because the yarn I had came from a grab bag and that was it. I had to use what I had. So I tried to get some texture without using extra yarn. And so I worked this out.
So we've got like a bobble panel. We've got some basket weave.
I think linen stitch.
Yeah. This one here is linen stitch. So we've got a few different stitches working. And so this ended up being the yarn she was actually using.
Yeah. And as you see, it have like just double crochets on top.
Do you know how many different yarns total you used?
1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. I think it's about 4 different yarns.
So what she did have some things to work out was your stripe sequence.
Yes.
So what she ended up doing was knitting separate swatches and just playing around with them
and taking a picture to see how I liked it.
So that's something you can do too if you're going to work with a bunch of different yarns. Make some individual swatches and shuffle.
And what I was lucky to have was this one. It's Queensland.
Yeah.
Variegated, and this I knew that I had more of, so I just made that be like
the filler.
Wherever I thought I'd run out, I'm like, oops, This is it.
So I'm going to show a picture of your completed one. So this is what Mom made based on the picture she saw. One of my favorite things about this sweater is this facing. So a facing is the edge of the sweater. It's not crocheted or knitted.
It's sewn. So I had to get cording, and it's 2 rows of cording sewed into this fabric. And I tried to get a fabric that represented all of the colors in here, but with some white so that it would pop against it. So,
And that fabric was just some joy.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the cording and the fabric.
It turned out perfect.
Sweater now.
Okay. Here, I'll hold it up for you.
Yeah, because she's a mighty cardigan.
Yes, she is a mighty cardigan.
That is the sweater, and there's a corded belt as well.
Oh yeah, Ma, and you modified how you thought they did the belt loops, because they're actually belt loops on here. It's not holes.
Yeah, I just wanted to make the belt loops, and I was like, okay, I can use like a treble crochet, but then it would be like opened.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was do
Some post stitches,
but when you join them together, like joint post stitches.
Oh, the linked post stitches.
Linked post stitches, so it would be solid.
right?
Yeah, I'm going to hold it up close so you can see that it's a much more solid situation. That's why you don't really see the white of the belt through the stitches.
Yeah.
But I
Does she have a name?
Magnifique.
Medley. Crystal suggested medley.
The medley sweater.
Because it's
yarns,
like different yarns,
stitches.
different stitches, all coming together.
But I think this is like a really brilliant piece for someone who has a lot of individual skeins. So that's what you have.
Definitely a stash buster.
Yeah. But
it doesn't say stash
Yeah,
buster.
it's
It
showing-
looks very deliberate. It looks planned.
It does not say stash buster. And you ended up sewing on the facing by hand.
Yes.
Ooh, let me tell you what she did though. She was really obsessed with how the thread would look. So first she bought this invisible thread. It's basically like a fishing line. It was clear and like almost like a plastic.
And it was very, very fine.
And she couldn't see it when she was sewing.
I'm like, how can I sew with something I can't see?
So we got some purple thread.
Upshot, you can't. Yeah, I'm going to hold that up close so you guys can see the detail on that. I think it's glorious.
Thread worked just fine.
It surely did. Because you cannot see it among the crochet at all.
So don't try to sew with invisible thread.
Don't try to hand sew with invisible thread.
Crazy.
And you had some details.
That's pretty much what we talked about.
Oh, cool.
You know, once I looked at the sweater, I was like, oh, it's very basic. It's drop shoulder cardigan, open front with a corded belt and that facing. So I was like, oh, I can do that. And then I had just made the love cardigan.
Yes.
And so I used that pattern, the outline of that pattern, to be the basis of the sweater. So that construction was perfect to translate into the sweater. And then, like you said, I just played with the colors to see the sequence, and that's what happened. This is the result.
Yay! Well, y'all. You see what happened was I didn't finish mine. I'm not even going to build up to it. I have her here.
Lack of trying.
Yeah, you know what? I think what happens to me is my projects tend to grow beyond what they started out as.
Yeah,
that takes a long time. But I'm almost done, so I'm cool with that. So this is the front of my sweater. I have a front now, which is amazing. I'm building the shoulders, and I have the shoulders and the neckline and the finishing to do. I have been beading as I go, and I had to abandon my beading as I go plan so that I could invest more time in the knitting. But you know what? I love the beading, so homegirl's gonna be beaded. This is the Nymphula top from Noro 20. and I worked it in cumulus cotton. This is the back. Is that upside down? A little bit.
Oh, this way.
Oh, okay. So I'm a little loopy because I was up
what's
late
going
last
on
night.
right now because Lisa is early to bed, early to rise. Okay, her whole life, right? She is a lark. She is a morning person.
I am.
She one of the people who get more done before 9 a.m. than most of us get done all day. However, she was really, really, really trying to finish this T-shirt for today, and so last night she was up until literally 5 a.m. knitting on this top. And I tried to nudge her to bed, much earlier than that. Didn't work out. And at least don't get her sleep, man. Lisa is someone you want on your team, but if she ain't had her sleep, things don't work. She hurts herself. Like she bumps into things. It's rough. But she really, really tried, y'all. She really did.
Yes, she did.
And it's going to be a lovely top
there.
when
It's almost
finished.
almost there.
It's almost there. So those of you who did not finish the fall Yarny YouTube hop, don't feel bad. Most of it is done, and I will be wearing this in the fall.
So
But I did have some helpful tips for you. If you do decide to do beading the way I'm doing it by sewing the beads on, go get yourself a good embroidery hoop. It makes it so much faster and easier. You know what it is? I had an old embroidery hoop laying around the closet. Don't ask why. And I was using that, but this is really too bulky for it. So getting a new hoop that could handle the bulky fabric really made a difference in my life. And you definitely want the hoop. Also, as you see, I left my lifelines in because I'm using them as a grid to help me keep up with where I am in the beading. Because on the back, I thought I got to the end of the row sometimes of my beading, and I didn't. So create some sort of grid on your fabric that can help you keep track of where you are. Also, if you are like me and often measure and things don't seem to measure up right, create a spot on your piece that's where you're going to measure all the time, and it will make your measurements way more accurate. So that's why there's this vertical line of my crochet cotton running down the front of my piece. But in a week or so, this will be finished. But that's what we've been up to for fall. I love everything that everybody's come up with. This is the part where we hold our pieces up. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear about what you guys did in the comments. If you were participating in our first fall make along, please post your finished or almost finished objects on Instagram or Facebook using the hashtag #FirstFallMal2022. And let's enjoy our fall pieces, guys, even if they're not 100% finished. You guys got anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Thanks for joining us. See you next week. We have a new podcast up every Monday at noon. See you then.